This is not a political moment right now.
This is not a time in tragedy to be re-debating the Second Amendment.
This just happened. We don't even know how many people are going to be killed. Can we just take one day before we turn it into a political issue?
Why are people getting pulled into other issues like gun control right now in the wake of this tragedy and not talking about the economy, which is what matters most to people?
It's naked exploitation of dead children and grieving families. It's play acting. It's feel-goodism. And I got to tell you something. The whole thing is grotesque.
Do you think it was appropriate to do this on the same day that 13 people had been gunned down?
You've got people who are trying to turn this tragedy again into some sort of political advantage for them. I just think it's gross.
To see what he can accomplish on his agenda, and then I think that that's sad that he exploits these people.
Before the names were known or the bodies were even cold, he's advancing an agenda. Very sad.
To make a pronouncement at this time when, I hate to say it, the bodies are still warm and the wounded are now in surgery, I think is at least premature.
And they're politicizing this while people are still in surgery and dying.
You know, it didn't take long for the candidates and media to start politicizing that mass shooting yesterday. In fact, the left quickly blamed the incident on guns, using this as an opportunity once again to push their agenda.
For him to come out and push gun control before he knew anything, before any of us knew anything about the guns even used, right. I'm sorry, it's irresponsible.
We have no idea how he got those guns. None. No idea. He could have stolen them from a law enforcement officer, for all we know, who had the guns legally, or somebody else who had them legally.
Before you say that this is wrong and this is wrong, with so far there's no indication that he got any of the guns illegally.
We don't know anything about how the shooter obtained the weapon in question. We don't know any of this, and yet the president is using this occasion to urge us to change our gun laws.
Getting in front of the cameras and staking out your position before the facts are known.
Time and time again, the left defaults to blaming their political opponents for these tragedies before the facts are known.
Every time something like this happens, it becomes another bully pulpit for them to push their agenda.
Political left pushing its gun control agenda after the shooting in California.
Already we are seeing anti-gun politicians, anti-gun activists try to turn this tragedy to some sort of political advantage.
These liberal cities are killing fields.
Yes, exactly.
Without a doubt, and they do have the strongest gun laws out there, and it belies everything the president talks about when he makes these kind of pitches, just as these bodies, many of them not even identified yet. So
very offensive, Sean, because we didn't know any of the details. We later found out that he was targeting Christians, but at that moment he once again goes out and says that we need to change the laws.
Would cracking down on gun laws really prevent killers from getting them? Would more gun laws have stopped what happened in Paris? Absolutely not.
There's no rational explanation for all the carnage, none. And no public policy will stop it.
Sloganeering, the bumper sticker politics, there will obviously be time for that. Is it appropriate now? I don't think so. Not at all.